Conscious collaboration brings together entrepreneurs, changemakers, and thought leaders. We aim to highlight the people that embody the idea of aligned mind, body, and business. Each week, we share, discuss, and learn from the various experiences and ideas of our guest experts. Through our discovery, we find a path to an aligned mind, body, and business.
Hi, I'm Lisa.
And I'm Emily. And together we are the Conscious Collaboration Podcast. What's up?
How you doing? That was all my notifications and all my note takers. I don't know if you could hear it. They honked.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Is that they liked what I had to say?
I think so. I think it was like a celebration that we're all together.
Yeah, well, I mean, that is something to celebrate, right?
The gang's all
Taking
here.
a little time out of the hustle and bustle, and that is
The
indeed
gang's
the
all
vibe.
here. Yeah. So anyway, we didn't get to really have a pre-chat very much because of electronics being weird. I don't know if that's because of like
technology.
I don't know if it's because of I don't know if the weather has anything to do with it or the stars or planets or what.
Definitely not blaming it on Choopy.
No. Our AI
super
buddy
with Choopy's titling abilities as of late. That Florida man spirit animal is pretty hilarious. Yeah,
it's pretty good. It's been and it's interesting. It's it's interesting how like relevant that topic was after I know like we recorded it a couple of weeks ago, but how relevant it was putting out the marketing and the conversation within the group. All I know it has to do with algorithm and everything, but it was just everywhere, like spirit animal and Florida man and tortoises. It's just been everywhere. So I love it.
Love it.
It's very affirming. I don't know if I told you this story because I haven't talked to you in a while, but over the weekend, my little baby tortoise had an adventure in the backyard with its like oak leaves all falling out of my tree, and we couldn't find the tortoise, and it was at dusk. So we just left him out there for the night. And it wasn't cold. It was like one of the warm days or whatever.
I mean, isn't it fine if it's cold?
No, it's this sulcata tortoise. They're from Africa, so they need to have 80 degrees and humidity is good for them. So anyway, we couldn't find him and we were so worried. So Saturday morning, I started looking for him, couldn't find him, and I was like, wait a minute, like I always help people with dowsing to find missing things. So I was like, why don't I douse to see if he's even in the yard? Like maybe he got next door or something. And by the way, I don't know if it's a boy or girl because he's so little, you can't tell yet. But I douse and I was like, okay, still in the yard. And I douse. I was like, okay, the back right corner of the yard is where he is, according to dowsing. Like 3 times I checked. And I was like, well, maybe I'm so emotionally attached. Let me have other people douse just to be sure. And I had Ainsley douse, my daughter, and I had one of my students douse. And we all had the same thing. And then I put it in my AI bot that I created for my work that I do. I created like another version of me, but an AI. And it was, I don't know if I sent you the screenshot of it, but it said that the reason why I didn't tell it what I doused, it told me that I would find it in the back right corner because it contains the energy of Kun, which is like Mother Earth, it's relationship, it's partnership, and it's very like where he was located when we left him was in fire energy. So it said he was probably tired because they sleep 18 hours a day. So he probably went to the Kun area to rest and feel protected. And it said he's definitely there. And I was like, okay. So I went out and I was like, let me just start raking leaves because it just completely blanketed in these dry oak leaves and you just couldn't see the even, the ground. So I started raking, and within like 10 seconds of scratching the leaves, I look up and there's a tortoise like walking towards me from the back right area of the yard.
Nice.
And he was just kind of like, oh, hey, what's up? Ready for my spinach, like so chill and so calm. And I was so excited, to see him. And it was just very affirming that like this shit works, like the things that are very basic, like intuition and using these tools, these ancient tools like dowsing, it works time and time again. And then just to add in the layer of like the AI intelligence, it's
Mm.
like combining the ancient with the modern. It flipping works. And
Did you say you gave him a name or no?
no, not
Popeye.
really. Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, you should name him Popeye.
We're getting lots of, well, so the AI tried to name it too. Um so we think it's actually a girl based on what stage it is and the shape of its head, and but I think they actually it's hard to identify until they're a little bit older, probably like another year, before you can see the features. But AI tried to name it really cute names too. um and I can't remember them right now. I have a whole chat on it, but it was just such a cool like experience to have these different modalities. Um, and it was, pretty wonderful. Anyway, they all came together and it's just like so great and so affirming to be plugged into these things that give you peace and an inner knowing when there's so much external chaos going on. Because there's a lot of external chaos going on.
And especially even bringing in that kind of unbothered, like slow tortoise energy, you know, to
Yes.
the hustle and bustle and the chaos and what
Hmm.
have you. I like it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I'm happy to have the tortoise back. Um, and I'm happy the kids are happy. I thought like it was such, like such an impossible thing to, like, oh, if I showed you the picture of my backyard, you'd be like, there's no way she's finding that baby, little tiny baby tortoise. Could have traveled
Camouflage
anywhere.
is working.
Hmm. Yeah. So anyway, now talking to my neighbor about it, she's like, "Can you help me find my missing military ID?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Um, yeah. So I mean, it's one of those things like it's easy for me to do dowsing for other people, but it's why I try to do blind dowsing for yourself because you're so emotionally invested. But I was able to use the AI and some friends as backup, but pretty neat little past couple days there, and we took Ainsley to see, I don't know if you saw on Facebook, we took Ainsley to see a violinist on Sunday.
Mm.
And the violinist was really very interesting, like invented his own kind of music. And I thought it was really cool. It was me and Kevin and Ainsley. And the violinist would play a set and then tell his story about, how he came to be and do this type of music, which was like electronic violin. And he didn't just like play the violin like normal. He would also like bang on it or pluck it, just make different noises with it and then record different loops of it and play it back in one of those recording looper things.
Have you
So
heard of Lindsay Sterling?
yeah, I heard he's like Lindsay Sterling.
Yeah,
And
she's
but
really
this
cool.
is yeah, it's kind of like Lindsay Sterling. He plays at music festivals and stuff. But the reason why he got into it is he was working in tech, like computers, for many years, and loves spreadsheets and techie stuff and everything to do with everything in his head. But he went to a music festival against his will. And he was looking around and he was seeing like how everybody was dancing and flowing and really feeling from their heart. And he was like, what is this that they're doing and why can't I do it? So he went into like this big practice of studying how can he get out of his head and into his heart space. So he started just, messing around with music. Like he tried to figure it out with his head, how to get into his heart. Isn't that funny? So he like researched, but one way to do that and find that heart connection is through music and creativity and play. So his journey, and I think he was like in his 40s when he did this, was trying to discover how can he be more in tune with his emotions. So he developed, probably inspired by musicians that he saw at the festivals, to create this type of music. And so each song, none of them are the same, and he doesn't have like recreate or anything because everything he plays is emoting. And so I thought it was pretty neat. It was kind of like I was saying, to Kevin and Ainsley, it's kind of like the experience of a Virgo trying to get into
I was
more of
gonna
like,
say, I'm sure he's got Virgo in his chart.
yep, that's what I think too. I mean, he said he still uses spreadsheets with his music, probably even more than when he was working in corporate, but he does it with more of his freedom and creativity and brings so much more joy to his life. So his tour is called Human Kindness Tour, which was very appropriate for this weekend. And it's called Dixon's Violin. And he plays everywhere around the world, making a living off of something that he made up. And I thought that was perfect for our podcast based on who listens. And we reach people that create their own systems or entrepreneurs, change makers, and thought leaders. And it just, even a big part of what he talked to us about was his journey and understanding that making mistakes is okay. And he said, I'm going to make about 17 mistakes tonight. And he said, and that's something you just have to get comfortable with, I've learned. And it was perfect for, I think many people in the audience to hear, including my daughter, who's very, I'm sitting with two earth signs who are very perfectionist and very, pragmatic about doing things. And so to hear someone embracing the journey of making mistakes and realizing and celebrating the things that can come from that was really very cool, I think, and just like pertinent to and everything that we've been talking about.
Well, I would argue that mistakes are necessary, especially for any artistic endeavor.
Yes, exactly. You wouldn't be able to come up with, and that's exactly what he was talking about. He lived his whole life so controlled by trying to be perfect and contained and put it in perfect, boxes and systems and fail checks. Think about computer testing.
We use the word perfect, but really what we're describing is rigidity.
Yes.
And if you don't, what happens to rigid things? They break. So
yeah. So just, really resonant with a lot of, what we've been talking about over the years. But I think just being in that energy opens you up to being connected with people that are attuning to heart space and flow and possibilities and new systems and breaking paradigms and changed for the better.
And even just connecting with people in general, because nobody can relate to perfection.
Yeah.
People don't want perfection. People want something that they can connect to, and perfection is not it.
Yeah. Relate.
At the Conscious Collaboration Podcast, we are proud affiliates of Atapa medical grade red light therapy devices. Red light therapy boasts a long list of clinically proven benefits, many that I and many of my clients have experienced firsthand. You can be sure that you'll be able to train harder, recover faster, and sleep better with Atapa red light therapy. Visit myatapa.com, myatapa.com, or use the link in our Instagram bio to shop with the code COLLAB15, that's COLLAB 15, for a discount on your device.
Yeah, relating to others. Yeah. So I don't know, just some really cool, just real life examples of a lot of the things that we've been discussing, just manifesting. I don't know if that's, just when you talk about something, it brings it into your awareness so you see it more. Yeah, so I don't know, but I'm really grateful for that, especially in a time in a world when things are quite chaotic. And we've been talking about heading full speed into Firehorse energy, and I think February 17th, is the official time, but we're certainly in that, as we say, shadow period now, of hustle and bustle, and you're living it, I'm living it, we're multitasking, trying to remember the importance of we don't have to exist in burnout.
No, you shouldn't. You are enough. Don't expect the impossible from yourself.
Yeah.
And just, show up the best you can every day. This is reflected from, what we actually got from the company that I work for the other day. And
I love that.
That's a good little cherry on top of just, today's message.
Yeah.
Just, you are enough.
Yeah. I love that exists in your company culture. And that's a good example of new systems and sustainability that they're creating. And they're creating holistic ways of supporting you guys and your client base too.
Yeah. 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 I feel like that is a great little nugget. And the other nugget that I got from them recently, just in regards to, being the middle person in between, upset members and, their medication and what have you. The advice was to be like a goldfish because they had short memories and they're very happy.
Yeah, I love it. No, I think they sound I haven't met them, but everything that you told me about them, it sounds like the perfect fit and a great thing that you've attracted into just, the direction that you're headed, supporting all of your missions and values. It's everything is rooted in your values. That feels really good.
For sure.
Well, what do you say we take this conversation inside of the Conscious Collaboration, our closed and private Facebook group inside the collective, and keep building on that. Does that feel good to you?
Feels great. Okay.
Well, I'll see you inside there, and anybody who's not in there now, make sure you do click that link provided in the description. And I promise you, it's a safe space. Very friendly people, and every now and then we get some good conversation outside of this. So love to hear it. Okay, we'll talk to you in 5.
Talk to you in 5. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Thank y'all so much for listening to our podcast. If you haven't yet, please be sure to subscribe, rate, review, and share with all your friends so they can join our circle of collaboration on this journey. You can find us on Instagram at Conscious Collaboration Podcast, on Spotify, iTunes, and Audible, to name a few. Please join us next time for another deep dive into how you can live life in more alignment. Mind, body, and business. Send us your questions and comments in our DMs or email us at consciouscollaborationpodcast@gmail.com. See you in 5 minutes.